हरे कृष्ण प्रेमश प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम्स।
समय प्रभु जी।
दंडवत प्रणाम। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. We welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Premavasya Prabhu, and he will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 9th chapter, and texts 1 and 2. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। Let me share this sloka. Can you see this sloka, प्रभु जी?
Yes, Prabhuji.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिया। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna. So, welcome you all. We are going to discuss today on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 9th chapter, text number 1 and 2. So, this we read from the synopsis itself, easier to read. Sri Sukha Uvacha Atha Kaschachit Dujavarasya Angiraha Parasya Samadamah Tapah Swadhyaya अध्ययन त्याग संतोष तितिक्षा परस्या विद्या अनसूया आत्मज्ञान आनंदा युक्तस्या आत्मस्मृतिसा श्रुतशीला आचार रूप औदर्या गुणः नवस उदार्याः अंगजाः बभूवः मिथुनं च यवीयासां भार्यां यः तु तत्र पुमान् तं परमभागवतं राजर्षि परावरां भारतम् उत्तरस्ता मृगा शरीरं चरं शरीरेण विप्रत्वं गतम् अहो। Synonyms and translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai and purport. So, Sri Sukha Vacha, Sukha Goswami continued to speak. Atha, thereafter, Kasyachit of some Duja Varasya, Brahmana, Angira Paravasya, who come in the dynasty of great Saint Angira. Sama, control of mind, Dama, control of senses, Tapaha, practice austerities and penances, Swadhyaya, recitation of Vedic literatures, Adhyana, studying, Tyagaha, renunciation, Santosha, satisfaction, Titiksha, tolerance, Parasya, very gentle, Vidya, knowledge, Anusuya, without envy, Atma-jnana Ananda, satisfied in self-realization. Yuktasya, who has qualified with Atma-sadisa and exactly like himself, Shruta in education, Sila in character, Achara in behavior, Rupa in beauty, Audarya in magnanimity, Gunaha, possessing all these qualities, Nava Sa Udariya, nine brothers born of the same womb, Angajaha, son, Bahu Vaha were born, Mithunam, a twin brother and sister, Cha and Yavi Yasyama in the youngest, Bharyama, wife, Yahu, two, but Tatra, there, Kuman, the male child, Tam, him, Param Bhagavatam, the most exalted devotee, Raj Rishi of saintly kings, Paravaram, most honored, Bharatam, Bharat Maharaj, Uttarstha, having given up, Mriga Sariram, the body of a deer, Charam Sarirena, with the last body, Vipratam, being a Brahmana, Gatam obtained Aho, they said. Translation. Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, after giving up the body of a deer, Bharat Maharaj took birth in a very pure Brahmana family. There was a Brahmana who belonged to the dynasty of Angira. He was fully qualified with Brahminical qualifications. He could control his mind and senses, and he had studied the Vedic literatures and other subsidiary literatures. He was expert in giving charity, and he was always satisfied, tolerant, very gentle, learned, and non envious. He was self realized and engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. He remained always in a trance. He had nine equally qualified sons by his first wife, and by his second wife, he begot twins, a brother and a sister, of which the male child was said to the topmost devotee and foremost of saintly kings, Bharat Maharaj. This then is the story of the birth he took after giving up the body of a deer. Purport. Bharat Maharaj was a great devotee, but he did not attain success in one life. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that a devotee who does not fulfill his devotional duties in one life is given a chance to be born in a fully qualified Brahmana family or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya family, Suchinam Srimatam Gehe. Bharat Maharaj was the first born son of Maharaj Rishabha in a rich Kshatriya family, but due to his willful negligence of his spiritual duties and his excessive attachment to an insignificant deer, he was obliged to take birth as son of a deer. However, due to his strong position as a devotee, he was gifted with the remembrance of his past life. Being repentant, he remained in a solitary forest and always thought of Krishna. Then he was given a chance to take birth in a good Brahmana family. Hare Krishna. Just give me 1 minute, 1 second. So this is very important. I would say the history, and for a devotee, it is it gives a chance to learn many things. We always hear that a devotee should practice in such a way that he gets liberation in this birth itself. And if we are on that path that we want to get liberated in this birth itself, then we must remember this story, and this is a lot to tell us. In this, what we see that Maharaj Bharat, in his previous life, he was very much devoted. And when we listen about his, I mean, level of devotion, we can hear that he had developed all those symptoms of a Mahabhagavata. While we pray to Lord that when that day will come, when we chant your name and there is constant tear flowing from our eyes, and there is a romancha kampa, romance, there is standing of the hairs on the body, and our heart is completely full in your devotion. And so when we read in the previous chapters, Maharaj Bharat, he had all those symptoms. He he was well qualified. He received instructions from Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. And so there is no question that one who has received instruction directly from Supreme Personality of Godhead will remain there something to be known extra. So he knew all those principles of devotional life. He also knew the devotional path. He also knew how to execute them. He executed everything very well. But what happened that he got attached to a small deer. So we know that a story that he was meditating on on the bank of a river, and then a deer came. She was pregnant, and on the sound of a lion, she became afraid, and she jumped in the river. And while jumping, she delivered the baby deer. And Maharaj Bharat was looking at that, and then he suddenly realized that in this forest, who is going to take care of the deer? This very question that arose in the mind of Maharaj Bharat was the cause of his downfall. Downfall in the sense that he stopped thinking about Lord, but rather he started thinking about the deer. Even while he was praying or doing his sadhana, he would always be conscious about the deer. So Lord said, Ananya Cheta Satam. Ananya Cheta. One who is always thinking about me. Ananya Cheta. And he is not thinking about anything else. That for that kind of persons, I am very easily available. But Maharaj Bharat was on that stage. But this very question that who will take care of this small deer was the cause of his fall down. So when he was thinking who will take care, uh, maybe he forgot that Lord is taking care of all living entities, right from their birth to their death, and the entire journey he's taking care of. So he left his own wife and children's, and he came. He even left his duties as a king, and then he came in the forest to practice devotional services and to engage himself completely ananya cheta satam. So completely engage in the thought of Lord Krishna and not to be distracted by anything else. So when he was leaving his own wife and children, he thought to himself that Lord is taking care of everyone, even me and a small insignificant insects and entire creation. Lord is only the protector, and He is a maintainer, and He is a support, and He is a final destination. And therefore, he could leave. There was one story I heard sometime back that there was one devotee, and he wanted to go for he wanted to renounce this family life, but his wife, she was pregnant. And then in night he was standing on the door and he was trying to escape. And then what happened that he was thinking about that if I leave my house, sorry, if I leave my house, then who will take care of my child? So that was a question in his mind also. And then what he saw that there was a egg of one lizard, and from that egg, the lizard, I mean, small baby lizard that came out from the egg. And when it came out from the egg, there was a small insect just in front of mouth, and he picked it up. Then he realized that the insect was planned by Lord to come to the near to the egg, and then when it came out, it picked up the insect. So he did not go to search for the insect and eat and survive. So then he realized that Lord is taking care of everyone, and then he left. So this is how a devotee who himself who himself thinks that Lord is taking care of him, and he is completely realized that Lord is taking care of everyone. Though they are the persons who could follow the path of Maharaj Bharat, but suddenly suddenly he realized, or the question came to his mind, that who will take care of this deer, and then he took the deer with him and were always conscious he wanted to protect the deer just like his child. In Narad Bhakti Sutra, when um, he explains that Na- in it's the text number 10. It says Anya Asranam Tyago Ananyata. He said that Ananyata is very important. And what is Ananyata? He said, Anya Asranam Tyago Ananyata. It means the one who can renounce the all different kinds of shelter, then he can attain the Ananyata, or unallowed devotional service in the Lord. But again, he also, in Narad Bhakti Sutra, also is mentioned in text number 11 and text number 12, that it is also important, Lok Vedesu tad anukula charanam tad virodhisu udasina. And he said that Bhavatu Nishchya Dhridyat Urdhvam Sastra Rakshanam. And Bhavatu Nishchya Dhridyat Urdhvam Sastra Rakshanam. That means even one who is on the level of topmost devotion, he should not renounce the order or injunction of the Shastras. Otherwise, Anyatha Patitya Shankaya. Otherwise, he will fall down. So, if you see in case of Maharaj Bharat, and so does this mean that all the grihasthas, they should leave out their home, their family, their children, and take a different apartment somewhere if you have enough money, and then say that I'm going to do meditation and think about Lord, and my children, my wife, they will not disturb me, or I should go to Vrindavan and stay there and leave my wife and children, or all relatives, everyone, or what does this mean? So until and unless we have developed this ananya devotion, so one who has developed the ananya devotion or unalloyed devotion to Lord, he never thinks himself, or he is well aware that only Lord is taking care of everyone, and he is not involved there. And one who has not taken, or one who has not achieved or reached the stage of unalloyed devotion, then even if he goes to a forest or Vrindavan or stays alone, he will always think that, or he will have this feeling that uh, I am taking care of myself, or I am doing this, something like that. And that will hinder his progress to the topmost devotional service. So Lord Krishna says that for a devotee who can see me everywhere and see everything in me, for such a devotee, I am never lost. He can always see me. He can always experience my presence everywhere, and he knows that he is taking care of everyone. Lord also says in Bhagavad Gita that one who realizes suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam santim richati. One who realizes that Lord is Lord is the ever well wisher of all the living entity and everything, and He has plan for everyone. So one who realizes this, he achieves this peace within his mind. So nowadays, what we see that people are very much anxious about their future life. They are very much anxious about the situation of this world. We are also anxious about the future of our children. We are grihasthas about our future, what will happen to our job, what happens if the third world start, what happens if this, what happens with that. And with that, we are so much perplexed, and people even they get into depression. Even devotee who has started their devotion career, I would say career, or started chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita. But they also sometimes they get in depression. They get in depression. They are not happy. Their life is not. Their life is always anxious. That what will happen tomorrow? What will happen? What will happen? But the moment you achieve that realization, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, you can attain to the peace that is required. You can be satisfied within yourself that, for example, even if I want, say, I want gold, hmm, and if my entire if I given a gold of 1,000 kg and put on my head, I cannot carry that amount of gold. Similarly, there are, even if you want that, why I do not experience that level of separation from the Lord, why I don't experience that constant tears is flowing out from my eyes. The reason is that Lord Lord Krishna, he wants everyone to experience those. He wants the intensity or eagerness that we may develop in future of attending to the service of the Lord, being with Him, talking to Him personally, is more with the Lord. He is more anxious to have all of us with Him and talking personally and enjoying. But and therefore, Lord comes here, He gives the Shastras, He instructs Bhagavad Gita, He comes with His own, uh, I mean, clear, near devotees, and the Lord performs lot of leelas and different kinds of activities so that we can sing about those leelas, we can remember those pastimes of the Lord and be completely immersed in his thought and attain to the stage of Ananya Cheta Satam. And that is a stage when we practice, the capacity of the body increases. Capacity of body, capacity of our heart, capacity of our eyes to to show those kind of symptoms. But we should not think that Lord is not Lord. The Lord is more eager to have all of us with Him than we are, and therefore, even if you take one small baby step towards Him, Lord is more eager to help us in different ways. So how we Lord helps us? Lord helps us uh, because I have not seen Lord Krishna. I do not know how He looks like. So I have seen deities in the temple. I have seen deities in the houses. So, do Lord looks like Radha Madhav, or do Lord looks like the Syam Sundar, or how does Lord looks like, or do Lord looks like the deity that I have in my home? What is the actual? So we know that Lord Krishna is wearing that dhoti, yellow color dhoti, and then he had cost money, and then he's holding this. If we imagine the four from Lord, then he's holding the four items in his four hands: Shankh, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. Or if we think about Lord Krishna himself, then we think about a peacock feather on his head, and then he's holding a flute in his hand, and he's standing with bending posture. His head is bent. So this is the idea that we have. But if you combine everything together, and if you combine the exact form, if Lord comes in front of our eyes, how will it look like? We have no idea. And if he comes to in front of our eyes, then I mean, can this body sustain? Can this body sustain that emotion? It is. I mean, people who do not have that much capacity in his mind, who does not have that much capacity in his heart, that he can sustain those emotions, very intense emotion with the love of Lord comes in, and the person may become mad. There may be ruptures in his brain, his heart may fail, his nervous system may fail, and instead of releasing those, he may become madman, he may die, or I mean, his life is successful, but the thing that we see, that a devotee in this present body, he is releasing those emotions to the Lord. So those kind of is not with us, and therefore it is Lord gives us lots of opportunity in the forms of dwanda in this life, and we read a lot, we practice this austerity, all those things, and then we develop the capacity to hold those emotions when Lord will appear in front of our eyes. So here what we see, that Maharaj Bharat was attached to that deer, and so the question is that it is said that a person who practices the devotional life throughout his life, and even at the time of death, he is not able to remember Lord, then Lord will personally appear in his mind, and he will, I mean, the devotee need not remember him, but Lord comes automatically, and the name of Lord Krishna or Lord Krishna himself comes in his chitta, and then he get liberated. So why it did not happen in case of Maharaj Bharat? So one idea that we get is like, Maharaj Bharat was on a very top level devotee, and he had all the symptoms. But as Prabhupada writes in his purport, that due to his willful negligence of his spiritual duties and his excessive attachment to an insignificant deer, that is the answer. So if one says that even when Bharat Maharaj was has achieved such a high stage of devotion and such a high, I mean, those symptoms were there in his mind. Romancha, Kampa, Astaranga, Bhajo. So all those symptoms were there, but then also he could not be liberated in the first life. So the answer is that Prabhupada writes, due to his willful negligence, he neglected his spiritual duties. What is the spiritual duties? Our spiritual duty is is to always think about Krishna and never forget him. Always constantly we have to think about Krishna. That is not that we just need to we do chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and it takes around 2 hours for us to chant. But Lord says that we should always be in the thought of Lord Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada has designed our daily routine in such a way that right from waking up from 4:30, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning until 9, 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the night, a devotee is always engaged in the service of Lord. So although a devotee chants only for 2 hours, but because of engagement in different services, he constantly remembers, or he constantly thinks about Lord Krishna within his mind, and there is no other thought in his mind. And then when he go to sleep, he is thinking about what services to do. He plans about the next morning programs, next day programs, or some other activity, and he sleeps in that way. So his sleeping is also considered that he's thinking about the Lord, and the entire day. But for Girastas, we are not in that process. So we wake up in the morning and we somehow do Mangal Aarti, or sometimes we miss the Mangal Aarti, and then we do chanting for 2 hours. And then entire day we are just thinking about our job. We are thinking about the salaries. We are thinking about the increments. We are thinking about next possible opportunities. We are thinking about how to increase the money that I have, how to invest in share market, buy mutual funds, buy insurance, or buy gold, do investment, buy 1 BSK, 2 BSK, and houses, cars, and what will happen to our children. We are thinking about their educations, and we are thinking about how to get the child married. And then a whole day passes in that way, and then when you go to sleep, we think about what to do next. I mean, what is the next task? What is the next duty with respect to the with respect to job? And when we start our devotional program in the morning, that happens automatically without thinking about or without being involved in it. Sometimes what I have realized that even if I participate in Mangal Aarti, this is my condition, and I'm just sharing with you. I mean, entire 1 hour it passes in a few seconds, because although I'm singing or doing aarti, but my mind is engaged in some tasks that I'm going to perform in my office, and in that thought, entire 1 hour passes, and then when I sit for chanting, the entire 1.5 hour, 2 hours something, it just passes very quickly. And then when I get up from chanting, I just try to think what I did. Then I don't remember any chanting or any doing arti or singing arti. I just remember my job, and then I rush to the office and plan and work. So for a grihasthas, we are doing this, but how can we become ananya cheta? How we can always keep thinking about Lord Krishna, because that is a requirement. Ananya cheta satam yomam asmati nitya saha tasyam sulabha partha. Lord becomes very sulabha, and that is a requirement to achieve that stage perfection in life. That is one is constantly thinking about Lord Krishna, not satatam kirtanto mam itantascha dirvrta. Lord says satatam kirtanto. He never says that 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours. He says satatam, always, constantly. So Lord Krishna has given the formula how we can become, how we can constantly think about Lord Krishna. Because the most dangerous time in our life is that when we forget Lord Krishna. Forget Lord Krishna means forgetting his capacity, forgetting Lord Krishna's influence on this universe, forgetting that he is a Suhirta, forgetting that it is he who is taking care of everyone. Even if you forget that for a small fraction of time, and in that time, if you take any decisions or do any activity, that can become that can become the cause of our downfall. So Maharaj Bharat, he was doing his Gayatri, he was meditating, and then when he heard the roaring of a lion, sound of the lion, and then he also saw the deer carrying a baby in his womb, and he got detached from thinking of the Lord, and he got attached to the seeing the deer who looked to be very frightened. So there was sound of a lion that was roaring, and then there was a river was flowing out there, and the deer was very much frightened, and she was looking right and left where to run, and the sound was coming from the behind. And then Maharaj Bharat was looking at those activity very carefully, very carefully. So at that time, he was completely detached from thinking of Lord Krishna, or thinking about his devotional service, or thinking of anything else. He was completely attached to the looking at the deer very consciously. And then he has started, I mean, he started to feel like a deer. The feeling of the deer enter into his heart. What happens that once a devotee practices devotional services, his heart is very soft. His heart is very soft. He is a para dukha dukhi. So the his how his heart becomes that he do not have anything that can disturb him, but he gets disturbed by looking at the distress of others, and therefore he tries to help him. So Prabhupada says that the distress of all living entities or everyone in this planet is only one, that is the forgetfulness of Krishna. Forgetfulness of Krishna is the only distressful condition, otherwise there is no distress. So a devotee thinks and goes to, when a devotee sees a person who is very in depression, he is having a lot of diseases, he has a lot of trouble in his life, the only thing that he remembers is that all the main cause of these miseries is that forgetfulness of Krishna, and therefore I should go and help him that he can remember Krishna. So that is how his consciousness, his consciousness and his udara charitanam, I mean that soft heartedness about towards the miseries of others is do not disturb him. But for a fraction of a second, if you forget that the main cause of others' miseries and my difficulty in life is that we forget the power of Krishna, we forget the influence of Krishna. So Maharaj Bharat, what happened that he forgot for a fraction of a second about the Lord and his influence, his opulences, his capacities, his strength, and he was thinking about the deer, and then those anxiety of deer, it hit him, and he started thinking like uh, anxiety of the deer was within him. And then when deer was perplexed looking left and right, and deer may be thinking about where to go, should I go right, should I go left, or should I jump in the river, because sound was coming from the backside and the lion seems to be very near. Now you see, Maharaj Bharat, he was not afraid of the lion. He also heard the lion sound, but he was not afraid about the lion, and he did not run to save his own life thinking about the lion will come, and if the deer jumps in the river, then lion will come and eat me. He was not afraid. You see that stage of his life, he was not afraid of death. But the feeling of the deer came to his mind, and then when the deer delivered the baby, and so deliver the baby, but dear, she was thinking of what will happen to my baby. I'm jumping to river. All those thoughts enter into the heart of Maharaj Bharat. And because he was in a state in which he forgot Lord Krishna, his powers, his influence for few fractions of a second, he was not afraid of the lion. He was not afraid of his own life. He picked up the baby deer and he started walking. He never thought that if lion comes, the lion will eat me also and also the baby deer together, full breakfast and dinner together. But he never thought about that, and he saved the deer, and then he got constantly engaged in the thought of the deer. So thinking of Lord Krishna always is like a shield that we create in our daily life. And if there is a small hole in that, Maya will enter from there, and then we get. So Lord Krishna protects us. Like in this case, we see that it may happen in our life, but this story of Bharat Maharaj gives a lot of hope to us, because uh, it may happen to us also that we are not remembering Krishna, we are just thinking or chanting in the morning or sometime in the evening, but the entire day we are not thinking about Krishna, we are thinking about our job, our family, of our life, and next. So, but this story gives us very much faith, and it gives full conviction, and it increases our love for Krishna. That even if you fall down, because the rule is very simple. If you are not thinking about Lord Krishna, we are in dangerous position. And so Maharaj Bharat was not thinking Lord Krishna for a fraction of a second, and this is what happened. And then he got attached to the a small deer, and he was not able to come out of that mentality that who is going to protect this small deer, and that stayed with him till he died. And because he died, and that was Prabhupada writes that willful negligence of his spiritual duties. So he willfully did this. He willfully. No one asked him to take care. Suppose there's a condition in which the spiritual master is sitting with you, and then spiritual master says that now it's your duty to go and take care of this deer and ensure that deer is taken care of. And then the Bharat Maharaj takes care of the deer, but always constantly thinking that this is because I'm doing because of the order of my spiritual master. Then there is no chance of hold on, because that task is being done on the order of spiritual master, and every time if he's performing that task, he's always thinking of the order of spiritual master, and there's no difference between order of Lord Krishna and and the order of spiritual master. So if you see that one devotee is chanting 24 hours a day, and one devotee is engaged in book distribution 24 hours a day, and one devotee is engaged in cleaning the temple or cleaning this and doing other tasks 24 a day, one devotee is constantly engaged in his material duties, going to office, but constantly thinking about the order of the spiritual master, why he's going to do this and what is his thing. So if he constantly engaged in that thought, then there's no chance of fall down. But here, no one told Bharat Maharaj, because in forest we always see that Jeev Jeevasya Bhojnam, land will eat some small uh, living entity, and then we hear in the story that uh, a bird went to the king, and a pigeon went to the king and said that please save me, and this big bird is coming to eat me, please save me. So in that time, the sarnagata, to protect the sarnagata, one who has surrendered, that principle comes into play, and that we need to save the bird, the pigeon. He 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 was even ready to give his own life to the bird, and he said you can eat me itself. So, but here no one told him. And lion will come and eat the deer. He may eat the small baby. He may not eat. He may go away. So he also did not see the lion coming here. Lion may be there roaring at some other element, doing something. But so then Papa writes that willful negligence of his spiritual duties. So we should be very careful that whatever spiritual duties that we have as a Grihasthas, we are asked to chant daily 16 hours and perform the Mangal Aarti and offer bhogas, attend this Nityam Bhagavata classes, read scriptures, and when even if you are doing our tasks, we should think that this Nija Sutta Dara Griha Manas Deha Geha Jo Kuch Mera or Kulas Tuya Pada Nanda Kishora. He should always be in our mind that, oh Lord, nothing belongs to me. But even if I think that something belongs to me, I offer it to you. I offer my body to you. Its entire house is yours. My family, my children's, my duties, my office, my obligations, my rights, and everything belongs to you. I offer everything to you, and I always do everything as a service to you. So with that mentality, if we be engaged, always think in that way to the Lord Krishna, and just like a karma yogi, I mean, whatever tasks that we do, Lord says, Yat karosi, yat jihosi, yat dadasi, tapasya, tat kurusya madarpano. Whatever we do, we should think that we are doing for sake of Lord Krishna, and whatever we take, whatever we receive, we think we should think that we have received from Lord Krishna. Once I asked this question to a very senior devotee, I said that Maharaj, I am working for a company, and the company is giving me salary. How should I think that Lord Krishna is giving the salary? So, so he very nicely answered to me that don't think in that way, because Lord arranges, Lord gives that what to say, that idea that I should help this person, then that person helps us. And sometimes Lord gives the idea that I should kill this person, and that person or living entity kills. So Lord only is the cause of birth of a person. Lord only the cause of the death of a person. And in that sequence, he just he's sitting in the heart, and that idea or that willingness to kill or maintain or save a person comes to a person's thought, and he does this. So he said that just think about that Lord Krishna is maintaining you by engaging you in this company, and he changed the mind of those persons, and they think that you are very valuable to the company, that they are paying you salary. And if your bad karma will, the fruits of bad karma will come, then their mind will change, and they will think that this person is no longer good to us, and they will fire you. But in both the cases, you just think that Lord Krishna is doing, and whatever condition in your life, you just think that Suhridam Sarvbhutanam, Lord Krishna is my always a well-wisher. So in that way, we can always be in the thought of Lord Krishna, and this kind of willful negligence we can avoid. So that is the learning, and then so this is the learning, and then there's a hope in this story. There's a hope that even if by chance or by mistake or by willful negligence we fall down. Why it is said willful negligence? Because Lord is not forcing us. Lord will never force us to come back to Godhead. He's not forcing us. Everything depends on us. That is the small minute independence that we have, that we need to use to reach back to Him, back to Godhead. He's never going to force us. And that a small independence that Lord gives us is trouble for us. So therefore, devotee, if you read the prayers of Narottam Das Thakur, he says that uh, just hold on my hair and pull me. They always give this independence to Lord, that if I go somewhere, if I do not follow, just hold on my hairs and pull me to the Vrindavan, pull me to the services. They give this right to the Lord. Otherwise, Lord is always thinking that it is His life, is His independence. Why should I interfere? So Lord says that I surrender my independence to you. The independence that you have given me, I surrender it to you. But a devotee should not by very will, their wills, they should neglect those instructions and their duty. And if sometimes they forget, and it even if it happens, this story gives us a very hope that even if we fall down, Lord will take care of us, because that remembrance in the body of a deer, and then the same remembrance in the body of this current birth that we are going to discuss now was given Lord Himself, and therefore he understood his what to be done, and then he never then we see that Maharaj Bharat was liberated in that third birth. So this story also gives us a hope that that once we are on this path, Name Bhakta Panasati, my devotee will never fall down. He will help us to get us back to Godhead. And that is a hope. And there is an instruction that what we should not do and how we should do. So main idea is that we should never forget Lord Krishna, even for a fraction of a second. But practically, it is not possible. So when you're in the class, we are reading Bhagavatam, then we remember. But for example, when you're driving, you don't remember. But just think about a person who is learning to drive the car, and then you ask him, you need to look in the right mirror, then left mirror, then the rear mirror, and then the front, and then you also need to look in which gear, and then you need to look at the accelerator and the brake. You think about everything and then drive the car. So a person who is learning this car driving, he is very perplexed. I'm very afraid. If I look in the right mirror, then somebody come from the left and hit me. If I'm on the left, then some right. So very perplexed. But just think about, once a person becomes very experienced in driving, then he is simultaneously looking at the right mirror, left mirror, rear mirror, thinking, looking at the front. And even there are people who are having call, they're having the earphone and having the very serious discussion, very serious meeting while driving. They're listening to the music, they're talking to the person, and even if the kids are there, then kids are jumping on the front seat and rear seat and back. So everything he maintains. He is on a high speed. Everything he maintains very well. So that is just a matter of practice, that we practice to think about Lord Krishna every time, and always just remember that what is happening, whatever is happening in my life is due to mercy of Lord Krishna. It is because Lord Krishna only that I got association of the devotees. this is only because Lord Krishna that I got this job. This is because Lord Krishna only that I got this disease. This is because Lord Krishna only that I'm suffering like a hell. This is only because Lord Krishna that everything is happening in my life. When you look at the sun, think that this is the eyes of Lord Krishna. When you look at the moons, when you look at the surroundings, then you can remember that earth, water, fire, air, ether, everything is the manifestation of Lord's energy. When you drink the water, just think that the taste in the water is about the Lord's only. And when you have when the fragrance of the flower, fragrance of the earth comes, you think about that this is the fragrance of the Lord Krishna only. So that is the practice given in chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita. So this is just a matter of practice that you know need to do so that we always satatam kirtantama, we always constantly keep remembering Lord Krishna. Whenever we see uh, any living entity, we just need to remind ourselves that this living entity that is coming towards me is not alone, but there is a soul and there is a super soul, and that is the expansion of Lord Krishna himself. They are coming, and the living entity is not doing anything independently, but he is being guided by Lord Krishna. So he sees he do not sees that the structure of a person, it could be male, could be female or anything, but he sees that Lord is coming to him. He I mean, we know this by reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, but we need to practice that whenever we see a mosquito, a lizard, a cockroach, or anything, we should think that this is it has the supreme Lord within his body as as a super soul. So whatever we read in Bhagavad Gita, we just need to practice this, and we can attain or we can achieve that stage where we are satatam kirtantama. We are constantly thinking about Lord Krishna. Any situation, any place, any person we meet, and whatever situation comes to our life, we just think that this is because of Lord Krishna. And it may be a good situation or a bad situation. I mean, when we are happy and the situation is very good, then we think that uh, Lord Krishna is very merciful to us. But when we are in distress, we are having trouble, then we do not think that Lord Krishna is merciful to us. So you should think in that way also. Once a devotee, they were discussing about this question that what is a symptom of a person who is constantly thinking about Lord Krishna? What is a symptom of a person? Uh, uh, I mean, who is working with the inner strength of the soul and not with the body? With the simple answer was that the discussion was that sukha dukkha samay kritva lava lava jaya jayo. He is equipoised in all the situation of his life, even if he's suffering like a hell, or even if he is enjoying, somebody is praising him, somebody is just scolding him and neglecting him. In all the situation, he thinks it is under the control of Lord Krishna. So in all situation, he is able to think about Lord Krishna. Just like you see a doctor, when you go to hospital, doctor do not see. So if you go to orthopedic, he looks everything like a skeleton. He can hold the hand, but he's not looking. So the doctor do not see it is a lady's hand or a gent's hand or a female hand. He just touches the hand and then he feels the bone inside. If you go to a neurosurgeon, he looks at us as an entire neurons flowing in the body. If you go to some other doctor, eyes doctor, he just looks at the eyes condition. He doesn't looks at other state of our body. Similarly, just need to train our mind, we need to train our eyes, we need to train our thinking process such a way that we are able to see Lord Krishna everywhere. Even if I'm not able to see directly Lord Krishna as Syam Sundar or Mullidhar or Chaturbhuj, but at least we can start thinking that this is the energy of Lord Krishna. Say, for example, if I go to my friend's house and I'm sitting in his house in the sofa, even after eating food, but in all those activity, I always think that this house belongs to my friend's house, this sofa belongs to my friend's, the food that is being offered to me belongs to my friend, and I do not belong to this. I'm not the owner, I'm not the controller of this house. Similarly, Lord says that uh, Bhumi Apo Anula Bayu Kham Mano Buddhi Evacha Ahankara Ityana Bhinna Prakriti Ashtadha. So this Ahankara, this false ego is also the energy of Lord Krishna. So whatever is there, if you just think about, we connect. So for a devotee, anything, any situation that comes to his comes to in front of him, comes to his mind, he's able to connect to Lord Krishna. That is the state that we can reach. Otherwise, for grihasthas who are doing devotional services for 2 3 hours in the morning, or 2 hours in the evening, and the whole day we are engaged in office work, it is very difficult for us to remember Lord Krishna always. For a devotee who are engaged in temple, it is easier for them. So for devotee grihastha, it is very important that we train ourselves, that we suppose we're in office and we have a deity installed in our house. So just like a person who is very eager to come back to house to see their children smiling and asking that, Dad, how are you? It is very late today. Similarly, just think about that Lord, Lord in a house, Lord Chaitanya or Syam Sundar, or any vigra that we have. Just think about that when I go home, I will have the darshan of my Lord. He will be waiting for me that when I will return from the home. When you go out of the home, just have a look at the deity and say, I will come quickly, and I will see you. So that is how we can save ourselves from falling down. And even if you fall down by willful negligence, so this is very important. Even our if the fall down by willful negligence, Lord will never forget the devotional service that we did in the morning or in the evening, and He's going to protect. So for devotees, there is nothing to fear. He is always in a safe hand. So that is a very good part. That once we are under shelter of a spiritual master and we are practicing, we are chanting, we should always be happy that now our life is safe, our life is ensured. Uh, Thank you very much. This topic is very big. I could say only this much. If I did some mistake, you can correct me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So I stop my class here now. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is there any question that you want to ask or anything that we need to discuss?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams Prabhu.
Madhuri.
Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Please correct me if I am wrong, Prabhu. In the beginning of the lecture, I got this understanding that Bharat Maharaj did premature renunciation. Is it correct, Prabhu?
So Bharat Maharaj, he did not do premature renunciation. When renounce is, why do you say premature? If you can clarify.
Prabhu, because again he got attached. So he was fully renounced. He had left the material desires. He wouldn't have got attached, Prabhu. So that understanding I got in the beginning of the lecture, but I think I'm wrong. So please clarify, Prabhu.
Okay. So Mataji, what happens that when a person renounces his family and his everything, at that time there is some attachment. There is some attachment. Attachment is not in full. There is some renunciation and there is some attachment, and therefore they are asked to go away from a house and then the practice, and then they achieve the state of full renunciation. Therefore, it is said that a person who is in the renounced order of life, he should not meet with his wife or a person to whom he was very intimately attached, because if you meet, then that intimate attachment will again come into his heart. So this statement says that even a person who renounces his life at that point of time, it is not that the renouncement is complete, but even it is incomplete, they go, they practice, and they renounce the life. In case of Bharat Maharaj, he renounced his family life, his duties, and it was in the same state. And when he practiced it, he was almost completely renounced. But he fell down because for a fraction of a second he forgot Lord Krishna and was thinking about uh, who will save this deer. Because the moment it comes in our head that who will do this, who is responsible, who is taking care, who will take care, then we forget Lord Krishna is taking care. And for a fraction of a second, he forgot that, and that question came to my mind, and then he thought, maybe I'm sitting here and Lord wants to then. So that is the mind. I mean, is playing with us. So those who are grihastha, for them also mind is playing like that. If I don't take care of my children, who will take care? Therefore, it is said that we should follow, we should do our duties as a grihasthas, and we should follow it. So, for example, if the children are very nice to us, then we take care of them. The wife and husband, they are very obedient. We take care of them more. But just think about the situation when they are not listening to us, they are not obeying to us, and they are disrespecting us. They are, suppose they are beating us. I mean, wife is beating or husband is beating. At that time, where is that attachment? They think that you go away, I will go away. That renunciation comes in mind. But the renunciation again transforms. When the mood changes, that get transformed. So we are in that situation of our life, and we are not in perfect renunciation. But when a person renounces his life, he start depending completely on Lord Krishna, and also thinks that when I go out or to go away, Lord Krishna is going to take care of everyone. So they are, I mean, Lord Krishna is in their thought, not other person. But when Maharaj Bharat saw the deer, the question that who will save, and there's an answer, Lord Krishna will save. But there's no answer from his side. The Lord Krishna will save. Who will save? And then he said, maybe Lord Krishna has appointed me to save him, and he picked it up. And therefore, that was the cause. So to answer you, it is not that one person is completely renounced, then he leaves the house. So there are different stages of renunciation. So one person, he wants to take sannyasa, he goes out from his house and stays near the house, and for some month he eats food from his house. So someone will come, deliver the food to him, and then he will eat. But he will not visit the house. Neither the wife or wife will visit to him to see him. And now, if he is perfect, then he stops living on the food coming from the house or the items coming from the house. He starts begging from other person. And then when he's perfect, then he goes. So renunciation also happens in stages. So Bharat Maharaj left the house and he achieved the pinnacle of renunciation. He was on the topmost of renunciation. But the one question, who will take care of, made him fall down. I hope I answered, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams.
Okay, so if there is no other question, can we end the class here, Prabhuji, if you permit?
Prabhu is not there, Prabhu.
Okay. So can I end the class, Mataji, here?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Namaste.